I thought a basic and standard routine for myself would be enough, but there's just always something random popping up. Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Judith and I'm here to help you out with all things career, finance, and life and time management. Today I want to share some of my tips and also ideas I thought of on how to develop a routine for yourself. And one that's not just like a basic standard routine that you can use every single day when you don't have a lot going on, but also a dynamic routine that can be adjusted based on anything random that needs your attention. So I'm not gonna go really into that about why a routine is important. I think we can all kind of pretty much agree that it is a very good way to stay productive and to also develop a habit for yourself, because habits and routines that are repeated over time can produce very successful results. I watched a lot of videos saying, hey, make a routine for yourself, 8 a.m. this, 9 a.m. that, 10 a.m. this, and follow it every single day, and you'll see really good results. The problem I found with that is that there are just so many different kinds of tasks, and it's very hard to figure out which task should go into your routine. And sometimes, as everyday humans, we have a lot of different things that can pop up. For example, let's say you do have a basic routine that you're following, and all of a sudden your lease is ending, and next thing you know, you're moving to a new apartment or to a new place or even a new state or country. As you can tell, that's going to require some of your attention every single day for the next maybe 2 to 3 months up until you move. And that is exactly what's happening to me right now. I am in the middle of a move, and it has been really hard for me to focus on the task that matters to me. So that's when I realized I not only need a standard routine that provides me structure and stability on the months of the year that I don't really have anything going on, but I also need a dynamic and adjusted schedule that helps me adapt when unforeseen circumstances happen. So in this video today, we'll start with making the standard ideal routine that encompasses all our goals and also will be used as a foundation for you to compare back to. Next, we will use something called the Eisenhower matrix to basically sort out all our tasks. And then we'll make a dynamic adjusted schedule, which is what we will use for the times in life where we can't use the standard routine. So let's get right to it. Okay, so as you can see, I have already made a standard routine. Ideally, I would like to wake up at 6 a.m., but that doesn't happen all the time, doesn't it? My ideal routine would be waking up at 6 a.m. and then starting to exercise at 7:15, shower and get ready at 7, and then by 8 having a quick breakfast and then starting on my script for my YouTube channel. So the reason I have scripts for my not YouTube channel, my YouTube videos obviously, but why I have this over here is because I find that I have the most energy and I can do a lot of work in the mornings. That's like the best time for me to be productive. So I like to do a lot of the tasks that are high energy and requires a lot of my focus in the mornings, because by the afternoon I'm just in a slump. I'm a lot more tired then. So then I start work at 9 a.m. This is my day job. At lunchtime, I take my lunch, but then at the same time, I just do some quick JavaScript practicing because that is one of my goals. I do want to learn JavaScript and to get better at it. And then at 1 p.m., I continue working again. 5 p.m., I'll take a short break just to rest and to decompress from the long day. And then next at 5:30, I want to start cooking dinner and washing dishes. And 6:30, have dinner and spend time with my family. Now, I know this sounds like a very heavy routine, but honestly, this is the reality of just having a day job. You use every single time that you have outside of work hours to work on your own personal goals. Then at 7:30, I start working on my website portfolio. And by 9 o'clock, I start relaxing and winding down. I start washing my face, brushing my teeth, crawl into bed, maybe do some reading. And then by 10, I like to go to bed. And this is great because the one thing that I cannot give up is 8 hours of sleep. I need my full 8 hours of sleep to be very focused and be able to do all this during the day. I highly recommend that you never skip out on your sleep. Obviously, that's very different for someone with kids. You're gonna have to wake up in the middle of the night and, take care of them and stuff like that. So in the end of the day, you gotta make this ideal routine based on your own lifestyle and your current situation. One good thing to do is to think about how many hours of sleep do you need to feel rested. And that varies for everyone. For some people that is 7, some people that it's 8, and for some even 9. So figure out how many hours you need and design your routine out of those hours that you need. Okay, let's continue to the next part of this video, which is the Eisenhower matrix. Before I continue any further, I'll make sure to link this template in the video description below. So with the Eisenhower matrix, this is a very, very cool tool. And as the name suggests, it was developed by President Eisenhower himself. He used this tool mainly for all the urgent tasks that he had as president and also being in the military. And the idea behind it is that all your tasks are divided into urgent and important, urgent and not important, not urgent but important, not urgent and not important. Okay? So the tasks that are urgent and important, obviously that has to be done first. That's going to be your very high priority task. It needs to be done ASAP. For urgent but not important, those are the tasks that you still need to get done, but it's not as important for you to get it done, and it's much easier for you to just delegate it to someone. Think of tasks that you can delegate. Those are going to go in there, and I'll give you some examples shortly. The third type of task, not urgent but important, those are the tasks that mean to you. They're part of your personal goals, but you don't really have a deadline as to when you need to complete those by, but they're still equally important because they are part of your personal goals. And finally, we have the not urgent and not important. This could be more stuff like that you have on your bucket list, places you want to visit, or just fun things you want to do like browsing social media or painting or stuff like that. I'm not trying to say fully eliminate those, but those are going to be the things that will be eliminated if those all 3 other tasks are just way too many. So I'm going to fill out this matrix based on my own personal tasks just so you have an example, but feel free to follow along with your own. And also, I highly recommend that you fill out this Eisenhower matrix on a weekly basis, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday or whenever your work week is about to start. So just fill it out based on all the tasks that you know are going to come for the next 1 week. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to fill out this matrix based on my own personal task, just so you have an example, but feel free to follow along with your own. So I'm going to start with urgent and important. I do know that I have a work project that is due this Tuesday, so that's definitely going to go under urgent and important. So work on work project that is due on Tuesday. And remember how I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm in the middle of packing and moving. And this is the cool thing about going back and making your dynamic routine later. Stuff like moving is not going to be around forever. It's going to go under your adjusted routine. So let's put also under urgent and important, work on packing. Work on packing for the move. Okay? Now, for urgent and not important, I do need to pick up some groceries. But they're not that important. I can still, eat out if needed and stuff like that, or just starve myself. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it is still something that needs to be done. And that could fall under delegate. So what I'm going to put is ask a family member to pick up groceries or make an Instacart order. Okay, and for those of you who are not familiar with Instacart, it's basically a service where you can put in all your orders for groceries and someone would actually go and get your groceries for you and then deliver it to your door, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to move to not urgent but important. So this will most probably be where your personal goals go, where there's stuff that matters to you, but you don't really have a deadline. It's not really pressing, but you still want to get it done eventually. So for me, that's going to be practicing JavaScript, working on my portfolio. I am in the middle of revamping my portfolio, so that's something that eventually needs to get done. And finally, the third on my list is working on my YouTube channel. So maybe working on YouTube video. So as you can tell, these 3 goals are important to me, but there's not really a deadline, right? They're just stuff I eventually want to accomplish. So I still need to make time somewhere in my routine to make sure that I'm working on these goals. And finally, the next on the list are not urgent, not important. So remember what I said, these could be your fun bucket list, things that are not really necessary but still something fun to do. So this for me could be attending a festival that's happening next weekend. So I can put attend festival. And remember, I'm not saying you have to eliminate that, but that is going to be the task that you can go and complete if only those other three boxes are kind of completed. And there you have it. This is how a Eisenhower matrix that is filled out would look like. Okay, so once you have developed your matrix, it's time to work on your dynamic and adjusted schedule that I mentioned earlier. And as a reminder, this is the schedule that you will use for the times where unforeseen circumstances happen and you can't really use the standard ideal routine that you have made earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up and we're going to duplicate that standard, ideal routine that you made. So you're going to duplicate it. You can also put Command D if you're using Mac or Control D if you're using Windows. And so you see the 6 dots right here. You're going to click on that and then you're going to drag it down. And you're going to bring it over here. And don't worry, in the template, it's going to be already there for you. But just showing if you want to duplicate your standard routine, that's how you can do that. So now we're going to work on the adjusted routine. Okay, so let's go back to the Eisenhower matrix. As you can tell, in the standard routine, I already had practicing JavaScript. I've already had working on my website portfolio and also working on my YouTube video. But I do not have the work project that is due this Tuesday and working on packing for the move on my routine yet, right? So we're going to have to go in and fill those out, okay? Now, for the urgent, not important tasks, you're going to delegate that during, any kind of break time or filler time that you have. So let's go down again. So we're going to include the work project and also the move. Okay, so let's start with the move. Now, think of it with packing, it's going to be something that's very high energy, right? So remember how I mentioned earlier, I'm someone who works the best in the morning. That's when I can focus the best, I can move around the most and stuff like that. For everyone, it's going to be different. So you got to figure out what time of the day you have the most amount of energy and you can also get a lot of work done. And for some people, that might be at night or in the evening. So find what fits best for you for that. So since I work the best in the morning, I am going to replace quick breakfast and work on scripts for my YouTube with quick breakfast and pack up boxes. Okay, so I'm replacing a task that is important but not urgent with a task that's both important and also urgent. Okay, so that's what I did right there. Okay, so for 12 p.m. I still have lunch and practice JavaScript, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the working on YouTube scripts that was initially in 8 a.m. and I'm going to put that over here at 12 p.m. as an alternate task. So for alternate days, work on YouTube scripts. Now what this means is that instead of just doing JavaScript every day for all 5 days at noon, I'm going to alternate and also work on my YouTube videos. That way I'm not completely ignoring that task and I'm still working on it in another shape or form. Yes, I would not get done as much as I would in my standard routine, but at least it's still something that can help accommodate the fact that I need to pack boxes every morning for the move. Okay, so let's keep going down. So we have cook dinner and wash dishes, have dinner and spend time with family. All those are still the same, obviously, because I still have to eat. But now for the work project, now I will try to get my work project done as much as I can, obviously during the day, during work hours. But if there's still extra work, I'm going to do that at 7:30. So work on my work project that is due if I have the time, work on my website portfolio. Okay, so again, that's going to help me to use the time to make sure that project is going to be done and it's there just as a buffer in case something happens and I don't have the time to work on it during work hours. But then I also have the option, oh, I got my work project done, what can I do during this time? Let me work on my website portfolio. As you can see, this routine has not only done a great job of including that, urgent, important tasks like the work project and also the moving, but it also doesn't forget your important but not urgent tasks, like the JavaScript practicing, the working on the website portfolio, and working on the scripts. Now, again, this might be anything for you. It could be the business you're working on. Maybe you're trying to open an Etsy store, or you're trying to get better at investing. So those are the things that you want to fit it somewhere in your schedule and still work on it as much as you can here and there, while still accommodating for those tasks that just suddenly would come up. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, as a summary, we made a standard routine, and this would be the ideal awesome routine that everyone wants to achieve. It's basically the one with the gold star. And then you go on to making your Eisenhower matrix, and remember, this has to be filled out every week, the beginning of the week, just so you know what is coming up. And then once you've made your Eisenhower matrix, you're going to make your dynamic adjusted routine for that week, and that's basically going to take your standard routine and to just make adjustments here and there as needed. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like and a subscribe. I have more videos coming up for you, so subscribing to my channel is a great way to keep in touch. Have a great day and see you soon.